Hey, it's Adrian, and today I'm taking a look at AOSU's SolarCam Classic D1 camera kit. Now, this includes two cameras so that you can have cross-tracking across your property in 2K video quality. There's also a home base with local storage so that you don't have to pay for any monthly cloud plans. There's AI tracking, two-way audio, a siren, spotlight, and more. So if you're looking for a camera system that has cross-tracking, let's take a closer look, and a big thanks to AOSU for sending us out for review. The box contains two D1 Classic cameras along with the mount's quick start guide, positioning stickers, hardware screws, and Type-C to Type-A cables to charge these up before installation. There's also a hub, power cable, Ethernet cable to connect to the router, and security stickers. The design of the AOSU D1 Classic is a little bit different than the D1 SE. So with the Classic, the solar panel is actually built into the body. You could see it's one completely molded piece and it's already angulated, nice and handy. The other thing is there is no micro SD card slot on the D1 Classic like with the D1 SE, and that's because we're going to utilize the existing space on the home base instead of a micro SD card. But overall, it's a very compact type of design. Comes in at around 1.3 pounds or 613 grams. So we do have two adjustable Wi-Fi antennas, nicely friction. Again, that solar panel already angulated. And then here we have the pan and tilt functionality. We also have the camera lens, spotlights, the IR sensor, and microphone along with indicator light. And then when I remove this weather sealed covering, this is where we'll find the power and reset buttons for when we're gonna, just turn this on and pair it for the first time in the app. The bottom has the speaker, and of course we have the rear mount area. On the underside of the mount, there's a USB Type-C rubberized weatherproof cover that gives you access to the USB Type-C port. So you can always connect a power bank to this if you're having overcast days and the solar panel doesn't charge the camera up enough. You have that option, and you could probably run a wire into your house if you wanted, permanently powered. Installing the camera is very simple. So we're just gonna take the rear mount here and we're just gonna drill 3 screws into the wall using the positioning sticker. And once this is attached to the wall, we'll just slot it in at the top here till we hear a click, and we're done. The AOSU home base or storage hub is fairly compact, not too big and very lightweight. There's an LED indicator light there, speaker at the bottom, and then at the very rear we have an Ethernet port to connect it to our router or modem, USB port. There's also the power port and a sync button and another speaker back here. Now there is no way to expand the storage on here. It comes with 32 gigabytes. Specs include 2K video, pan and tilt functionality giving you a full 360-degree horizontal view, human auto tracking, an IP66 weather rating, two-way audio, a spotlight, and siren functionality. Okay, so I've plugged in the home base. I'm just gonna scan the QR code.
Please scan the QR code on the device or home.
It's automatically found it very quickly. Just gonna let it connect now. Now it's automatically connecting and it's waiting for a connection to the cameras now. So I'm gonna go to the next step. Next, I'm gonna turn on both cameras and make sure that they pair with the home base one at a time. Then I'm gonna install any remaining updates and firmware. All right, so both cameras are now added to the AOSU app along with the home base. Let's take a look at the app settings in the AOSU app. And right away, as soon as you launch it, one of the coolest features of the app is this view multicam. So because I have two cameras here, if I tap into that, it's gonna actually pull up live view simultaneously for both cameras, and you could see there's a car moving by there. So this is a true live view, and it's just so fast and fluid, really standout feature. And of course you can go ahead and put this in a horizontal configuration as well. And if you added more cameras, then you could even have multiple live view feeds going at the same time. Looking at the main dashboard though, I could see a thumbnail preview of what both cameras captured last, and I could see I have 100% battery and full Wi-Fi strength. Now on the camera in my backyard, 100% battery, but lower Wi-Fi strength since it's further away. If I tap on snooze, I could snooze the camera from 30 minutes to 4 hours. And if I tap on events, it's gonna default to local storage because I don't have a cloud plan. Now I can see a breakdown here that this shows, motion, and this one says staying. And you can actually see that I'm standing behind the glass and the camera is so good. It can actually pick me up from behind the glass and tag it as staying. Really impressive. And if you go into cloud, this is where you can purchase optional cloud plans, but I've just been using it with local storage perfectly. Let's take a look at live view. And it pulls up very quickly. Now you can see it's set to UHD. I can switch this to standard definition. But what I can do is in UHD, I could just go ahead, zoom in on this car, take a look at the cars across the street. And of course, I could go into full screen mode if I want a little bit more detail or to make it easier to view. Now, what I can also do is start a manual recording. It's going to capture that car going by. What I can also do is take a snapshot of whatever I'm looking at, and I can start audio streaming from the microphone. Illumination turns the spotlight on or off. You can change the tone whenever you're talking to someone, and you can press this icon here to start talk. You can also go ahead and trigger the alarm, and that's going to go out right now. It's going to be quite loud. Now, if we go into more, we can also send out pre-recorded voice commands, which I'll touch on later. Now, we can also go ahead and disable tracking. You can see as that person is walking, the camera did pan and tilt to follow them. Now, if you just want it fixed, so, you can only monitor one area, well, you could go ahead and turn that off. So it's very easy to do. Now, one of the coolest features is that you can create a stitch panoramic image here. So if I tap on this area over here, it's actually going to go over pan and tilt. And if I tap down here, you'll see it's both going to pan and tilt really quickly and effortlessly. To manually pan and tilt, you have full access right here, so you can see it's very responsive as I pan and tilt, so it's really a dream to use. Under motion detection is on and it's set to human only. It's only going to detect humans, not cars or pets. And then you can also turn human tracking on or off. So if you turn this on, it's going to impact battery life, but if you would just want the camera to monitor a fixed area, turn that off. Now, I've left it on adjust automatically for the detection sensitivity, but if you want more fine control, you could set it from close, medium to far, but adjust automatically has been working really well for me. You can also set an auto alarm, so you can see if I enable this, it's defaulted to all day, but you could set a specific time period and, day and time as well. Now, I can't have this on in the front of my house. I have way too much traffic, but great for a backyard area. And then you can also jump into motion detection to see how sensitive it is going to be when it's triggered. Under notification settings, we can receive push notifications, and you can set it. Do you want to receive it all day, every day, or only during certain times so that you're not bothered, say you're at work, etc. And then you can also set it to immediate mode. So as soon as it detects something, it's going to send it, or you could send it to intelligent mode. It's going to perform an analysis of the scene and then send it to you, but I prefer to get it immediately. If we go into cloud recording, I don't have a cloud plan, but you could take a look at some of the prices here. So this is for a 2-device monthly premium plan. Now, under video and audio, I've set it to record in the highest resolution 2K, but you can also set it to smooth if you prefer that and you want to just save on storage. And then for night vision, I've just left it on automatic switching. That's been working well, but you can set it for, spotlight illumination, or you can turn off infrared light, and you could set the speaker volume, and also if you want video clips to be recorded with sound. Battery management shows you the current status of the battery. So I'm at 100%, and you could set it to power saving mode. So the maximum clip length is going to be 20 seconds. And there is going to be, kind of a reduction or a cool down time in between recordings. Or you could set it to intelligent mode, where you'll have as long as 60 seconds of recording length. The camera can also be scheduled to go to sleep during certain times if you need that feature. Say you want specific privacy, and I recommend keeping the LED status light on to let people know that it is working. You have integration with Alexa and Google, and if we go into about device, we could take a look at the Wi-Fi signal strength. We can also jump into the home base settings, so you can see if I go into about device, I could take a look at how much storage I've used and how much is remaining, and then it is set to loop record. So as soon as the memory card or the storage is full, it's just going to overwrite the oldest clip, and you can manually format as well if you need to. While reviewing video clips, if you just tap on the screen, you have the option to download it directly to your phone, and it does so very quickly. By the way, if you're finding this video helpful, please like and subscribe, but let's get back to it. To review video, I'm going to go into the events, and I'm just going to go ahead and pick March 1st, which was a very busy day for me, and you could see that there's really a ton of motion detected on here. There we go. So you can see it's labeled as cross-tracking, staying cross-tracking. And if I tap on this cross-tracking, notice that there's a video clip series here, and what this does is it actually shows you subject trajectory. So this is where I started. I was taking some recordings, and then I came to the backyard, and then I got closer to the camera, and you could see it's just kind of labeled it as a chronological series of events. One thing I noticed is that, say on March 20th, I have handy thumbnail preview, so I know what I'm clicking into. But if I go to the previous day, I have a thumbnail for the first clip, but not some of the clips that follow. But then if I keep scrolling, I do have thumbnails. So it's a bit hit or miss in terms of if you're going to have thumbnails generated. This is something that I think will be, probably fixed or smoothed out in a further firmware or software update. Video quality was great during the day thanks to the 2K quality, and it was really easy to make out faces. So in these clips, I'm in the backyard, close up to the camera, it's easy to see my face. Now I did also put one camera on the side of my house where it was further away from the sidewalk, and it was still easy to make out people and cars going by. Even when there was a bit of direct sunlight pointing towards the camera lens, it still handled it well and the video was nicely exposed. Night vision was also good whether you used black and white night vision or the color night vision. So you can see in these clips with just the standard black and white night vision, it's still easy for the camera to track and make out faces. And same with color night vision, even though it's not the super brightest type of spotlight out there, it still does a fairly good job with illuminating and giving you color night vision. Alright, so motion detection is a little bit more tricky to talk about because with a lot of camera systems where you just have one camera, as soon as it detects motion, boom, you get the app alert and you're like, okay, this was fast or this took a long time to get that alert. What I noticed with this system is because it's a 2-camera system and I have the cross-tracking motion option enabled, what happens is a lot of the times if I'm in front of one camera and then I walk to the other camera, I'll get the motion alert notification way more delayed because I think it's kind of parsing the information from both cameras, analyzing it, and then, stitching the videos together to give me that cross motion kind of series of video. So in that case, the motion detection, I guess, is a little bit more delayed, or maybe not technically the motion detection, just the speed at which you receive the app alert is a bit delayed because it has to do so much more processing. And you can see how it just stitches or kind of combines a series of videos to show you subject trajectory, which is really cool. The AI auto tracking is also very sticky, and anywhere I moved, it was easily able to pan and tilt to follow along. You can also do this manually if you like, and then you also have that pano stitch, so you could just tap anywhere on that image and it's just automatically going to jump to that area.
Please get out of here now. Hey, what are you doing here? Please put the package at the door. Thank you.
Now the spotlight on here is not the brightest because it is a spotlight, not a floodlight, but you can see it still did a fairly good job illuminating the front of my house. When it comes to battery life, I have good news and bad news. So the camera mounted in my backyard where it doesn't see too much motion, although I did notice it does pick up the top of, big moving trucks and delivery trucks. That stays at around 90 to 100%. And this is still in the Canadian winter. I've had, a couple of winter storms, heavy rain, a lot of overcast skies, but it's still staying at 90 to 100%. Very impressive. Now the other camera that I've mounted at the side of my house, that's seeing, way more traffic. And right now the battery life is at about 16%. Again, cold weather is going to deplete the battery more. And then we're also having, a lot of overcast days. But, it's definitely capable of retaining battery life if you mount it in an area where you're mostly using it kind of for surveillance and not to actually document everything going on in your neighborhood like I am. I'm expecting to get at least 4 to 6 months of video playback history with the included 32 gigabytes of onboard storage on the home base here. And that's based on it recording from both cameras at 2K resolution, so that's pretty good. So this is an awesome option overall if you need some type of cross-tracking ability. And I think this is going to be most beneficial if you have a large property, maybe residential or commercial. Now for a lot of smaller houses, you could just buy one camera with a really wide field of view, and that should probably solve the issue. But with this, because you do have cross-tracking, if you really want to monitor and track, the subject's trajectory around that property, this is going to do an awesome job at it. The build quality is also fantastic on here with the IP66 rating. It has survived a couple of winter storms, heavy rains, high winds, and both cameras have kept on working. There's also 0 monthly fees to use this type of camera system. Of course, there's optional cloud plans, but you don't need to use or pay those to get full functionality out of these. So if you're interested in picking up the AOSU SolarCam Classic D1 SE camera kit, I'm going to leave some links down below for you to check it out. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to check out some of my other security camera videos as well. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help me out as a growing channel, and I'll see you in the next one soon.